That is
Again?
what you're meaning, right?
Yeah, again.
Sutre, I don't know the first line, but it is
Okay,
it says
Sutre.
Sutre
Putre
Maniganaiva.
Manigana.
Like how the thread threads through the pearls, he is in and through everyone.
Yes.
He says
We
that
all can
knowledge is through and
Madina
everyone.
Mangal song. We all can
Yeah,
trek. And that
right.
day we can
That
sing.
knowledge binds all of you in a one sutra,
Correct.
one
That
dhaga,
knowledge or the
one thread.
divinity, the divine runs in
It's
and through.
same. Yeah, it is the same.
Yeah. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Chaiva Tato Jayamudiraye. That's it. Now today Nana actually revisited what Shraddha actually is. And it is not just faith, it is the sum total of all the samskaras that you have acquired in the last whatever number of births you've had, that determine your attitude, your behavior, your thinking process, the values you have in this current life. So therefore, it could be of three kinds: Satvika, Rajasika, or Tamasika. And he went back to chapter 13 and 17 to bring up those beautiful stanzas which describe how your different shraddhas manifest in different ways. For me, it was amazing that he remembers those particular, those number of shlokas. Remembering the shloka itself is a little difficult for us. But he was like picking up the number of shlokas, the which to read, and that is again because he's so adept with chanting. And that is why he said today, it is not about completing chapters. It's not about completing. It is about how much is actually gone through. Exactly what Swami Chinmayananda also said. Someone told him, I read the Bhagavad Gita some number of times, so many number of times. And Swamiji just asked him, he says, doesn't matter how many times you have gone through Gita. Has Gita gone through you? Has it gone through you at all? So that is important. How much of it we are able to imbibe and live in our life. That is why maybe what we'll do, and this is what Nana has always been, he's passionate about, is maybe every day, without him telling, we will just, each of us, we can, I think, prepare one few days before, like we make a list of who's going to present. Each one can present one shloka. That will be good. So anyone wants to share before we go to the text?
And this letter Suluka. This meaning or the Suluka.
No, not just the shloka. We read the shloka. We pick up any shloka that that you are passionate about, and then you read the meaning. Go to the home study or wherever you want to. You just revise that, and you present it. You give the meaning. Chant the shloka and give the meaning and the gist of it.
Okay.
How you have understood it. That way. So I was, yesterday I was a little confused. I said, isn't sannyasa and tyaga almost synonymous? Why is he confusing still? And then today it was clear that it was Bhagwan is only quoting what others are saying. You know, what the Kavayo and Vichakshanaha are saying. And with respect to Kavayoho, this is where he said, no, those people who are very, uh, what is that? The learned, not Vichakshanaha is learned people. Kavayaha is the wise. And here he was talking about the Andhra Bhagavatam. And these are those verses that he so very beautifully described how Vamana, you know, just imagining that, closing your eyes and imagining the way Vamana has kind of increased in size is really awe-inspiring. And to have put it down in a poetic expression just talks volumes of how elevated those people at that point were. And how he describes the sun, the magnitude of the sun becoming from his umbrella down to his, you know, his ornament on the head, on the ear, going down, and ultimately he takes such a mammoth size that he comes down to the feet, the foot. Sometimes it's just beautiful just to imagine the magnitude and the depth of the universe. You go out and look at the sky and the stars. Otherwise, we're also holed up in our own little world. We think that this is the world, but there's so much more out there. That's what Gurudev says. The visible world is only a minuscule part of the whole, you know, whole universe. There's so much of the dark energy there that is actually more than 90%. What we see is just about 10% or so. And we think this is the world. Sometimes it's good to just let your imagination expand, and then you feel very expanded there. Your little ego then kind of dissolves. Yeah. So today, I don't think we went beyond, we did the third verse, is it? I think he will come back to this tomorrow.
Yes, Brahmaraji. I have some confusion for even Tyag and Tyajate. I think tomorrow Nanaji will explain in
Yeah,
depth.
he will. And I'm going to ask this question. I'll post this one. Sarlaji had sent me a beautiful picturesque thing of the different lokas. Remember, we were talking of the three lokas, I think in Bhajagovindam. I can't remember the shloka, but and then Nana said, what are the three worlds? He said, Bhu, Bhuvaha, and Suvaha that are there and that are described in the Gayatri Mantra. But honestly, even I don't have a clear idea. So I thought we'll ask him about what these different lokas are. Even today, in describing the Sattvika Shraddha people, when they do all these punya karyas, they go to elevated lokas. So I thought to get some clarity, we will pose that question tomorrow, and let's get some clarity there. So I will just read this chapter, this verse 3, so that Tyajyam deshapadityeke karma prahurmanishinaha yajnadanatapah karma na tyajyamiti chapare. Doshavat karma, action which is inherently defective. Tyajyam is to be given up. Iti prahuhu, thus say, eke some, manishinaha, wise people, aparecha and others, yajna dana tapah karma, an action which is a ritual, charity or religious discipline, na tyajyam, na should not be given up. Iti, thus say. So some wise men say that action which is inherently defective is to be given up, and others say that an action which is a ritual, charity, or religious discipline should not be given up. And why did Nana say any action is inherently defective? He had explained why it is inherently defective, right? For me, I was thinking because any karma is born out of ajnana, and therefore it is defective. That was my thinking process. But I know Nana had mentioned. Can anyone say what he said about doshavat karma? Am I audible to everyone? And is everyone there?
This is what I vaguely recall,
Yeah.
because it was about sannyasa, no? The previous sloka, Arjuna asked, so in sannyasa, you give up all actions. So that is why Krishna says that the wise say actions which are inherently defective, which means like all the uh, actions that lead to misery in the world, which is inherently defective in your thought, word, or deed. You know, all those killing, those sort of stealing, those sort of uh, karmas, which is going to increase your bad karma. So that is inherently defective. This is my understanding. I could be wrong. I was vaguely remembering. I attached that to that sannyasa, where you drop all actions. But the wise man
He
says,
also said with the samskara you born also.
Yeah, because of those three gunas, you do some actions, and that is based on your sanskaras. So even in sattva guna, you can do something wrong. So that is inherently defective because of your vasanas. So those things, I attached it like that. And the other wise man says, but don't give up all these yagyas, all those things which you have to do for your pitrus, for your devatas. Those things you don't have to give up. Those actions you should not give up. This is what I recall.
I'm actually quite keen to know what Bhagwan himself says.
And I was just contemplating, uh, because of our whatever, the way we were brought up and our education system and this and that, it was very easy to give up all those, question all those, those yagyas and rituals and this and that, and very easily give it up without actually knowing why it is to be done and not given up. It's come very late in my life, this understanding, but I'm glad I got that at this stage.
Yeah. So today we'll go ahead of Nana, okay? We'll read 2 shlokas of this and then go back to Bhajagovinda. Actually, Nana has been mentioning that. He says, you prepare from the Gita home study well ahead. At least read about 5 shlokas so that you you are kind of there. It's like you're preparing well ahead of the class. And then whatever is there will seep in and you'll be able to understand more clearly. So with all your, if it's okay with you, I will go ahead and do at least 2 shlokas, maybe 2 or 3 shlokas from here. Nishchayam shrunu me tatra tyage bharata sattama tyago hi purusha vyaghra trividha samprakirtitaha. Bharata sattama, oh the most mature of the Bharata family. Tatra, there, tyage, regarding this renunciation, Shrunu, listen. Me nishchayam, to my ascertained opinion. Purusha Vyagra, O tiger among men. Tyagaha, renunciation. He indeed, Trividhaha, threefold, Samprakirtitaha, well stated. O, the most mature of the Bharata family, listen to my ascertained opinion about this renunciation. O Arjuna, tiger among men, renunciation is well stated as threefold. Yajna dana tapah karma na tyajam karyameva tat yajno danam tapaschaiva pavanani manishina. Yajna dana tapah karma, an action that is ritual, charity, or religious discipline. Na tyajam is not to be given up. Tat, that, karyam eva is indeed to be done. Yajnaha, ritual, danam, charity, tapascha, and religious discipline, manishinam, for those who are capable of discriminative thinking, pavanani eva, are purifying indeed. So this is what Bhagwan is saying. An action that is a ritual, charity, or religious discipline is not to be given up. That is indeed to be done. Ritual, charity, and religious discipline are indeed purifying for those who are discriminative. Etanyapi tu karmani sangam tyaktva phalani cha kartavyani me partha nishchitam matamuttamam. Partha, O son of Pritha, tu, but
Two.
etan, huh?
Okay.
Etan. Dr. Renu, are you saying something?
No, now okay. I could not hear you.
Is that with everyone or?
No, now okay. Okay.
Okay. Etani karmani api. But even these actions, sangam, attachment, phalani cha, and the results, tyaktva, giving up, kartavyani, are to be done, iti me, this is my, nishchitam, clear, uttamam, proper, matam, vision. But even these actions, which is what? The charity, rituals, charity, and the religious discipline, even these actions are to be done, giving up attachment and giving up the results. This is my clear, proper vision, Arjuna. Niyatasya tu sannyasah karmano nopapadyate mohat tasya parityagaha tamasah parikirtitaha. Tu, but niyatasya karmanaha, of enjoined action, sannyasah, renunciation, na upapadyate, is not proper, mohat, out of delusion, tasya parityagaha, renunciation of it, tamasah parikirtitaha, is called tamasika. But renunciation of enjoined action is not proper. Renunciation of it, that is enjoined action, out of delusion, is called tamasika. I think we'll stop here. So what Bhagavan is saying is all these actions have to be done, these rituals and charity and religious discipline. Yajna, dana, tapa, karma has to be done, but giving up attachment and giving up the results. Basically, he's talking about karma yoga here. Yeah.
No, he is also saying you don't live the yajna, danam, and tapa.
Correct. But he's saying don't give them up, but with what attitude you should do also, he said. No, he said,
Correct.
do it without getting attached to it. And without getting attached also to the results of it. So that is the karma phala sannyasa. Does anyone want to share anything before we go to Bhajagovindam, the last shloka? You know, yesterday's the thing that we discussed about no hurry and what Swamiji was talking about, it was so beautiful. In that, even when you're kind of walking or eating, this thing was there at the back. You know, do it without any hurry. And then you realize that, I mean, this is what I did not practice it all the time, but whenever it came to my awareness, it just brought me back to the center. Otherwise, you're kind of lost in the superficiality. You're lost in the mind. But when you think about this no hurry, it brings you back. I felt very centered.
Yes, Didi, that's my experience also. When we relax and slow down, then we are more quiet and more centered.
Mm. So I'm just going to read the last para. Suma, you want to read the last para?
Brahmaraj, the screen has disappeared, my dear.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I
did not
can read. Yeah, I can
did
read.
read the screen. Sorry. This feedback is so important. Otherwise, I would not. Yeah. So I thought maybe we'll just read the last para and then go to the last shloka.
Hurry is not known to all creative expressions in nature. Outside, the sun rising, the moon setting, the blossoming of the buds, the arrival of the fruits, the germination of the seeds, the fetus in the womb, the bird in the egg, all have no hurry. But each takes its own time to grow and emerge out. If the seeker tries to hurry up and double up his march to reach the goal, haste is waste on the path of truth. This warning is also beautifully given here by Shankara. Advises so lovingly, please perform with care, with great care. Avadanam mahadvanam.
Mahadavadhanam.
Avadanam mahadvanam.
Mahadavadhanam.
Madhavadanam. Okay. Mahadavadanam. Avadanam
Mahadav.
Mahadavadanam.
Yeah,
Okay.
Mahadavadhanam. So I'll just read, chant that this one, so we remember this shloka. 1 second. Pranayamam pratyaharam nitya viveka vicharam japsya sameta samadhi vidanam kurvavadhan mahadavadhanam. Yeah. So the steps we saw, no? How starting from the body, the mind, the intellect, how you use all these pranayama, pratyahara, and nitya viveka vicharam. And japa, how japa is important to stabilize the
Steady the
intellect,
mind.
steady the mind and intellect. Yeah. And then finally, samadhi. At that point, when your mind is so still and thoughtless, that is when the self gets you are able to see the self or be with the self. So the realization happens then. So our attempt, our purushartha should be to take us to that state of samadhi and establish ourselves in that state of samadhi. Then automatically the self unfoldment will happen. Is Percy ji there?
Yes, I am there.
Ji, you were yesterday mentioning the sequence of how sadhana we do, right? How Gurudev has, started with you start with warm-ups, and then you do Padma Sadhana, Kriya, and then Sahaj meditation. You said it is to regulate all our pranas. So the warm-up, is it, I wanted to ask you, so the warm-ups are there to kind of align the pranas? Is that
Yes, yes. See, even the forward bending, the backward bending exercises that we do, all the stretches that we do, the stretches, rotations, how it is working at different levels is what I want to bring out. I'm going to send it to you. My
fine?
son is typing out the other few pages today. Has taken it. He
Okay.
has typed a little bit, and that will explain to you how the flow of prana is there, how the imbalance occurs, and how through which asana you can balance it again.
Mm,
So when Gurudev is telling us, even when Nanaji is telling us, they keep on repeatedly tell us that you have to do it in this way.
mm,
But that why is so beautifully explained in all this as to, come on, you don't know what is happening in your body, how the imbalances are taking place. And if you follow what I tell you to do, then all these imbalances will go away.
mm,
And then, there is a lot of misconception like prana should be high.
mm,
When we are talking actually prana, when it is subdivided into the 5 pranas, that prana which is subdivided, if that is high, it will cause even insomnia. So
mm.
it is not high prana being good for you. It
Oh,
is balanced prana which is good for you.
correct.
Neither high, neither low.
Right. Optimum prana.
Yes.
Mm. So beautiful. For a long time in my in my sadhana, uh, maybe because of time constraints, maybe because of laziness, I would skip the warm-ups. I would directly go to Padma Sadhana, Kriya. I was thinking, for me, Padma Sadhana and Kriya most important. And of course, Sahaj. But, when yesterday you were sharing how the warm-ups are important to regulate the prana, I was quite keen to know more about that. Of course, after doing, um, I'm not sure how many of us here have done this thing with Gurudev. He did this, what was that? It was called, he did a yoga session, right? I think it's called the Heart of Yoga, or I can't remember the title that was there.
Yeah.
But he actually conducted yoga sessions. He led the whole yoga, and how many warm-ups he would do, and he would make it so humorous. I have actually jotted down some of those asanas. Maybe I will share them
Yeah.
sometime tomorrow, day after. So we'll share. So from then, my warm-ups, when I conduct a follow-up, of course you have a set pattern and you do the follow-ups. But at home, when I'm doing my own sadhana, for a long time, I was skipping the warm-ups. I would just brush the warm-ups aside and then start with Padma Sadhana. But now I realize how important everything is. Mm.
Yeah,
See,
even after
even
the same.
sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, please
continue.
go, Ji.
No, what I was saying was like Gurudev, when he is taking even on the stage some amount of warm up, and he just says, tap your skull, make a fist and tap your skull. If we were to do it just for 1 minute, all the hormones that are released in the body in the morning, as soon as we get up, we sit up. If we were to do this just skull tapping for a minute at least, that will release all the hormones in a proper balanced manner. I mean, when you go into the intricacies of it, I mean, it's what all he is telling us is so important, but we don't value it to the extent it has to be valued.
Mm.
Sometimes we do it, sometimes we don't.
Which is
That's
true.
so wonderful. I was just going to ask Persiji, is there any set of warm-ups we should do, or we can follow as per our body? I mean, sometimes we have stiff neck or sometimes some leg pain. So I do usually with like whatever I like customized warm-up. So, but do we have some set of warm-ups which we can do just when, I mean, as you said, to increase prana and to balance prana, I'm sorry, and to have the optimum strength?
Balance prana is different. That is some part of your warm up. But then when you are having, say, a stiff neck or you have a low back pain or whatever, knee joint pain, as you said, you had some leg problem or something. And then there are a different set of, that is my therapeutic yoga exercises. They became very famous in Australia and New Zealand. There they go for strength and stamina. But when I took the therapeutic yoga there, they were so whole halls, entire halls used to, there the double parking is not allowed. So like entire hall used to be full of people and unknown people. Like, I mean, our
So,
volunteers would
so
go
people
around telling and people would come.
are you in Bombay, the Percy ji?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
I'm in Navi Mumbai,
You can.
but I'd been to Fiji, Australia, New Zealand, then I'd been to Russia.
So can
We
we have online therapeutic yoga classes?
advanced course also we are looking forward online.
Yeah, Jai Gurudev, I'm so lucky. I'm staying here, Percy's place, me, Loveleen, and Percy sir. We are so blessed.
Online course, yeah, okay. I don't know screen sharing and all my volunteers, youngsters have gone away now. So I only put them off into further studies and all that. So if somebody like Brahmaraji can do screen sharing or something, I can send across. But how do I do all the meditation?
Certainly, no problem. But I'm actually also looking forward, if you can do an online advanced course, that will be wonderful.
Yeah.
Sometime we'll see some mutually
I am
convenient.
saying it for so long time, Brahmaraji.
For
Let's
there,
come
no,
together because
Madhuri ji can share screen. She's also in Mumbai.
Okay.
yeah,
Hmm?
Yeah, but I'm looking at all the advanced course meditations.
Correct. It's not a big deal. Vijay ji is there. He can conduct a tutorial. Just let you know how to do it. It's very simple.
Yeah, there should be no time wasting in that. I'll see. I'll get somebody
Yeah,
also to sit next to me or
park
something.
this idea. We've taken
No,
this.
those logistics and all can be taken care. Yes, the day you announce the date, everything else will happen.
Yeah,
because they go hand in hand. Whatever we are doing just now, no, it really is very important if we simultaneously do the advanced program also. The impact of this knowledge and the way it becomes a nididhyasa, no, little bit more easy when we do the advance also. That's why I'm saying at least once in 3-4 months we must do the advanced course together and then further on this knowledge. It's a very beautiful combination. Jai Gurudev.
From my side, all the notes I'm going to dig out now. Means first I used to give books on Mudra Pranayam and all that I used to refer to, bandhas and all. But then I found teachers were not reading that whole book and all. And so then I condensed the importance from all that. So I've made notes on Mudra Pranayam, bandhas, and all these 5 tattvas in each finger, how you have and how the mudras. Lots of notes I've got, which I will forward to Brahmaraji over a period of time. I'll just have to dig them out.
yeah.
Normally, I
Awesome.
find that people don't have that kind of interest level. This group is unusual. People have so much of interest levels.
These
So,
are extremely important things, Pasivaya, because unless until we understand these things, we will not be able to go beyond that.
for
Just
me,
in
Always
the
it is
air,
like,
gain in our see, the wealth of knowledge is immense. It is like there's a huge mountain of knowledge. What we're doing is what Vedavyasa did was only take 4 handfuls, and that is the 4 Vedas. So the amount of knowledge is immense. The more you know, you don't know. The more you need to know. So wherever possible, like Ayurveda is so beautiful. When you blend Ayurveda into your understanding of all of this, taking care of the body when it comes to because what did Nana say? Shariram kaludharma sadhanam. It is required to further our purushartha, moksha purushartha. So it is important to take care of this body. And when we have so much of depth of knowledge in Ayurveda and yoga, why not use it to the most optimum use, most effectively, so that we don't get caught up in vyadhi. Vyadhi is one of the most important obstacles to yoga. So that will be good. Dr. Renu has mentioned there, I know we're a lot of deviation today, but it's fine, I think. We are a set of 200-hour yoga, Sri Yoga trained TTP teachers here in the Middle East. We've come together, and from the last 2.5 years, we have been as a team reaching out to people, and we conduct these online Sri Yoga classes every month. We have 12 sessions every month. We initially did only evening batch, but there was a lot of demand, so we did morning. We're doing morning and evening. And I'm very happy, and I think it's the grace of the master that is keeping this group very cohesive. And Dr. Renu is actually the most important person that is keeping the group together, announcing the dates, getting people to commit to taking classes. Because a single yoga teacher cannot cater to all the 12. That's a lot of commitment and possible. So we have a group of about six to eight of us, and we conduct each session in pairs. So one does first half and the other does the second half. So you're all welcome to join.
Thank
Maybe
you.
on a Saturday.
And Dr. Brahmana started it, all of us. And as we start, till Percy takes over. Try it.
Yeah. Maybe what we can do, we can invite Persiji as our guest yoga teacher once.
Yes, excellent, excellent.
I
As
don't
many days as
we
you
should,
can.
yeah, in our enthusiasm, we should not sidestep the framework of art of living. Let's not miss out on that. So only if it's within the guidelines of functioning of the art of living, we will do that. Otherwise, we should not be stepping on the rules and frameworks laid down by the apex and the art of living. So we'll see how it's possible. At the same time, this is what we've been in, and it's really pure, very good. People that have started have actually stuck on from the last 2 years. We have some people who have done our very first yoga, have continued doing. Every month they enroll, and it's a good flavor because each one has a different flavor. So we have 6, 7, 8 different flavors of yoga, of all
This
those.
is 5 continuous days or once a week?
No, not 5. We're not doing Sri Yoga level 1. We're doing the online Sri Yoga, the 16 sequence basically that we learn in the 200-hour TTP.
Okay.
So it is good teamwork. Although the Brahma energy kind of was created by me, the Vishnu energy is being maintained by Renuji. She's sustaining the whole thing. Yeah.
Grateful.
Yeah. So we'll get back to our Manana. We had a lot of deviations today, but good sharing. So the last shloka is there. Guru Charanam Bhuja Nirbhara Bhaktaha Samsarad Chirad Bhava Muktaha Sendriya Manasa Niyamadevam Drakshasi Nija Hridayastam Devam Bhaja Govindam 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 Bhaja Mudhamate Samprapte sannihite kale nahi nahi rakshati dukran karane. Gurucharanam Amya Nirbhara Bhaktaha. Great devotee of the lotus feet of the teacher. Samsarat, from the samsara. Achirat, soon. Bhava Muktaha, become liberated. Sendriya Manasa Niyamat, through the discipline of the sense organs and the mind. Eva, in this manner. Sumaji, do you want to mute yourself?
You'll have to lift it up.
Yeah, there is. I'll just finish the Pratipadartha. Sendriya Manasa Niyamat, through the discipline of the sense organs and the mind. Evam, in this manner. Drakshasi, you will experience. Nija Hridayastam, that dwells in one's own heart. Devam, the Lord. O devotee of the lotus feet of the teacher, may you become liberated soon from the samsara through the discipline of the sense organs and the mind. You will come to experience, behold, the Lord that dwells in your own heart. Seek Govind, seek Govind. Yeah,
Faith
go ahead.
and devotion to the Guru are necessary.
Suma, there is some disturbance coming from your side. I don't know from where it is.
Okay, I'm outside. Maybe I'll go inside. Faith and devotion to the Guru are necessary in order to ease the student's path and level down the slopes en route his pilgrimage. Faith is very powerful, secret source of energy in the human bosom. One of the greatest definitions of faith has been given to us by Saint Augustine, where he says, faith is to believe what you do not see, and reward of this faith is to see what you believe. I'll repeat that. Faith is to believe what you do not see, and the reward of this faith is to see what you believe. What the teacher says, we cannot immediately apprehend, but the logic of his discourses helps us to intellectually comprehend it. When we have once embraced an ideal to the bosom of our dimly comprehending intellect, belief in that ideal becomes natural. Thus, faith indeed is that secret power in the human mind to hold on to what he intellectually believes, but has not yet come to experience peace in his life. And this secret might of faith ultimately takes man as though upon the comfortable wings of some magic to his destination of fulfillment in a total and complete experience. Sans faith in the teacher, the student is a wayfarer, entirely blind, completely deaf, and sadly paralyzed. You have to lift the page. Acharya Shankara addresses here his students of all time and across the mounting centuries to the end of infinity. He blesses all pursuers of this path. May you become liberated from sansar soon, is the burden of the master's good wishes. This liberation is not in some distant time and in some distant place. It is here and now. This is indicated by the champion of Advaita by again blessing the student through discipline of the sense organs and the mind may you come to experience, behold the Lord that dwells in your own heart. Sincere adoration and devoted surrender to the teacher is indeed practiced, not only by the disciple class, but even by the teachers themselves. Acharya Shankara, by this stanza, is perhaps prostrating to his own teacher, for it is not a mere coincidence here to remember that Shankara's own teacher was Govindacharya. Bhajagovindam, Bhajagovindam. Wow. We'll have to lift the page. In the Upanishads also, the importance of teachers have been very frequently indicated. Mundaka Upanishad prescribes the qualities of a true teacher. Again, in Chandogya Upanishad, the rishis has once for all blasted even the possible traces of any doubt regarding the necessity of a teacher on the path of spiritual progress. The Upanishad says, one who has a teacher alone comes to realize. With prostrations to the teacher, this essential manual on Vedanta.
Suma, your voice is waxing and waning. Are you logged in with your headphones or so?
I can use them.
No. There is still that background noise that's coming up and down. So I'm just wondering if there is a difference because your voice is also waxing and waning.
Okay, maybe I should use now. Is it okay?
Yeah, now it is clear.
Okay, I'll hold it close to my mouth.
Yeah.
Bhajagovindam is considered generally among the minor works of Shankara. All great spiritual masters have a knack of giving the highest truth at their greatest moments of inspiration in the simplest language. The artificially bloated intellects of the professional pundit will generally declare such works as minor. Because of the simplicity of the vocabulary employed, the melody of the verses, the cadence in the meter chosen, and the general atmosphere of song and thrill in this congregation's song, Bhajagovindam has become very popular in our country. Until recently, we could hear these stanzas in almost all the streets throughout the length and breadth of Bharat. Children lipped it, boys thundered it, intelligent people appreciated it, philosophers enjoyed it, and practitioners, sadhakas, made use of these stanzas and fulfilled their life. When anything is so frequently used by such a large number of people all over the country, with all licentiousness for about 10 centuries, the thing, even if it be only a poem, must carry with it signs of wear and tear. No two publications of this great song of devotion, pregnant with philosophical suggestions, are the same. I have followed a reading which struck me as the best in bringing out all the essential truths in their ampler suggestiveness. The poem, as it stands now, has got 31 stanzas. The opening verse is the refrain, and it is used for the crowd to chant in the congregation as a chorus, while a selected few chanted the other stanzas one by one. The first set of 12 stanzas, that is 2 to 13, is attributed, as we have already mentioned earlier, to Adi Shankara himself, while the following 14 verses, 14 to 27, are attributed to the 14 disciples who were with the master in his pilgrimage to Kashi. Now, really speaking, there are no evidences to prove the exact individual authorship of these 14 verses. We cannot say which stanza belongs to whom. Nothing is definitely known, since
in the storms of time, they have all got so totally mixed up and erased. No direct evidences are available. We have but some traditional hearsay evidence. The last 4 concluding stanzas, that is 28 to 31, are again attributed to Adi Shankara. And the poem, pregnant with its philosophical meaning, comes to a close in a most befitting manner with the blessings of Acharya Shankara upon all true seekers. May his blessings be always upon us. Om Tat Sat. Jai Gurudev.
Someone has shared the text where the bhaktas were written on every shloka in the description.
Yeah, that
All
is meant.
14 Shishta.
Correct.
But that you have not shared in the group. Even if it is not that PDF where the Shisha's name is also written after the description of the shloka.
Yeah, that was mentioned here, no, in the PDF that we read.
No, which I have downloaded. No, it is not written there.
No, it
That's
was.
why.
If I remember, Sarlaji, every of the other shlokas from 14 to 27, I think, it was mentioned. This is attributed to Sri Subodha. And I think we've read. It is mentioned.
Yes, yes, it has. There is. It is mentioned.
I have to see the PDF again.
Yeah, but that is again a minor.
Irrelevant, because he said no, it is not exactly said that this stanza is for this Shisha only.
Yeah.
In the last he cleared that.
But that's okay. What we want here is the gist. No, it is not so much about which shloka, which person, or which said. The whole thing is, although it is considered a minor work, the people like Shankaracharya bring up the highest truths in these beautiful, simple to understand verses. And that is his greatness. Yeah, so Om Tat Sat, Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. So it's 7 o'clock here.
Gurudev says no. Gurudev says no. Faith is giving the divine a chance to act. And also in Guru Gita about the importance of gurus. Guru Radir Anadischa. No, without a guru, you are an orphan. Guru Radir
Here one sentence was there. Guru vina gati nahi.
Yeah. It's very important to have a guru who can.
Our guru is Nanaji.
Yeah. You know, he is, there is, yeah, I don't want to refute that, but I think he's a blessing. Certainly Gurudev's blessing for all of us.
Guru Prasad, really, we are so fortunate.
Yeah. Because Gurudev has always been saying you have to, read the Bhagavad Gita. That has been his one advice that he's constantly giving. And thanks to Nana's classes, we are able to actually satisfy that. Even I think between Ganesh Chaturthi and Krishnashtami, Gurudev said, read all the 18 chapters of the Gita. And he doesn't simply say that. No, there is so much depth in what he says, meaning, and Nana's classes are giving us an opportunity to do that, to follow Gurudev's advice.
Yeah, and also, adding on these Atma Bodha, Tattva Bodha, and Bhajagovindam has really crystallized the Gita. It's becoming so clear and so vital in your life. That's what I feel.
Yeah. Oh,
Yes,
Dr.
the
Mara, you're
application,
back today.
the
Yeah,
application life
you
has.
know, I was hardly there for 1 week and I just came back today and I missed all the classes. So I wasn't sure what's going on, you know. So I was just quite listening to you guys. Yeah. So what
So
happened,
lovely
like
to hear you, Dr.
Nanas,
Mara.
you couldn't hear me?
No, it's so lovely to hear your voice after a long time.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I missed all the classes. That's why I just turned it on and see, okay, looks like the Zoom link also got
Yeah,
changed.
changed. Yeah, we had some difficulty with the old
So
link. We had to change it.
Her Satvik Guna has means brought her again here to see what is happening here.
Satvik
no,
Shraddha.
no,
Shraddha, yeah.
yeah. Thank you so much. And what happened? Like Nana's class is today. You know, are you having different schedule?
No, we finished
Uh,
Nana's class. We're doing the Manana now.
Oh, I thought this is 7 to 8, right? Oh,
No, for me it is 7 in the
Time has
morning.
changed.
It is 9.
Time has changed in America. Are you back in America, Dr. Mara?
yeah. So 6:30 to 7:30 Nana's class. What time is Nana's
No,
class
no,
now?
I
Uh,
don't know what is the time there for you now?
Now it's 8 o'clock. I think 9 o'clock.
Yeah, so
Oh,
your time has not changed. So your time is at
yeah.
7 in the evening.
Okay,
7
right
to 8
now it's
California time.
8.
Yeah,
Yeah,
is
California time is 8 now.
oh, it's 8 now.
Yeah, 8. Yeah,
Then
my
your
clock has not changed, but my phone is 8 o'clock. So I thought between 7 to 8, Nana's class, I thought. So, yeah.
no.
Yeah.
Then it will change then. For you, then it will change by 1 hour. You have to advance by 1 hour. Go ahead by. So it will be from 6 to
Mm.
7 time is Nana's class. And
Oh,
7
okay.
onwards will be Manana.
Oh, okay. I see. So US time, California time, 6 to 7 is class, and then 7 to 8 is the other class.
I will need to check with Nana. I didn't check with him whether this is convenient for him. Let me talk.
Okay. So is he in California now, or he
Now
moved
back
to?
in Phoenix. In fact, I'm not sure how many of you know Swami Tattva Vidananda.
Yeah, I know.
He's also from the Arshavid. I think he's Swami Dayananda Saraswati is one of his disciples.
Right.
From today on, he is going to be talking from today, no, from tomorrow maybe. From tomorrow,
Yeah.
he will be talking on the, he'll be giving
Atma
discourse,
Bodh.
the Atma.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Nana went there. I see. Okay.
So Nana
Right.
is there right now, and
Oh,
in the evening he's going to be giving some other discourses. So if any of you is interested, my brother-in-law has actually sent the link to watch the videos. So if any of
Kindly
you,
share, Brahmaraji.
Yeah,
I will share. Yeah. Swami
yeah.
Tattva Vidananda is again a very, I mean, everyone is very learned. So they say, no, that the guru has to be what? Atma Brahmanishta, Shrotriya Brahmanishta. He's like that. He's a Shrotriya. He's very, very well learned in all the scriptures. And he's Swami Dayananda's direct disciple. So I will share those details in the group. Any one of you who's keen to learn, just look at the time difference and then look at when, convert the timing, and then you can watch. I think recordings are available on YouTube.
Yeah, I think that would be nice. But are they not having some discourses in the evening also? I think
They are having, I don't know
But
which topic it is in the evening.
okay.
I asked Nana whether he wants to attend those, but he said no, he would want to continue the Bhagavad Gita class on Zoom. So
Okay.
my sister and I think my mother and all of them would go for the evening class, but morning
Okay.
class is happening in their house.
Okay. So,
Evening,
are
there's
you?
somewhere.
We haven't started the 8th chapter yet, right?
We just started. We finished 2 verses. The third one, Nana's just stepped into today.
Oh, today. Okay. Okay. All right.
So
Okay.
I think you have missed the Bhajagovindam, but all the recordings are there in the YouTube.
Okay. All right. I'll listen to it. I know I had to catch up a lot, but it's nice. Nice to be back. All
So
right.
shall we start? Welcome back,
Mhm.
Mara.
Yeah.
Shall we
Thank you.
start
Thank you so
Padma
much.
Yoga? I think Bela, you wanted to say something and it was interrupted.
Yeah.
Jai Gurudev, Madhuri.
Yes, Madhuri ji, tell
Oh.
me.
Yeah, I wanted to, one of these days I will share. Bhanu Didi shared very beautifully the original names of the 4 Shishas of Shankaracharya ji, and how because of their certain specific qualities, this Hastamalak and Vartikakar and all these names, Padmapad, how they came up these names. They are the names given to them. Before that, they were like Sarveshwara. The 4 different names were there for them. And very beautifully, so many things she shared. So I would like to share all those things with you also. One of the days.
Certainly.
I'm sure Brahmaraji in your batch also, she must have done that.
Actually, we should all watch the movie Adi Shankaracharya in Sanskrit. That is something to be watched.
Right.
So shall we get on to chapter 3? We have to come back to chapter 3. We'll do about 20 minutes on this and then we'll close. So in the previous chapter, beginning at verse 55, Lord Krishna pointed out that a wise person, Astita Prajna, one second, is one who gives up all desires, being happy with oneself in oneself. This is the ultimate human end and is what is meant by moksha, liberation or freedom. So, Sthita Prajna is one who gives up all desires, being happy with oneself in oneself. This is the ultimate human end and is what is meant by moksha, liberation or freedom. Giving up desires implies giving up all activities also. An activity is pursued because there is a desire to accomplish a given end. If there is no desire to accomplish a given end, there is no pursuit. Arjuna wanted Shreyas, liberation, and understood that in order to gain it, knowledge alone was required and karma was of no use. Krishna explained all this when Arjuna asked him to describe a Sthita Prajna. Before that, Krishna talked about the nature of the Atma being free from any limitation. Then he asked Arjuna to listen to what he had to say about Karma Yoga. He said, Yoge tu imam shrunu. During this discussion, Krishna asked Arjuna to perform action, remaining rooted in Karma Yoga. Yogastah kuru karmani. Gita chapter 2, 48th verse. This mandate confused Arjuna. Should I continue to do karma or should I pursue knowledge? He wondered. If I pursue knowledge, I will definitely gain moksha. Whereas if I perform karma, I will be bound by karma phala. Even karma yoga is not adequate for moksha. How then am I to gain moksha if I perform action? Arjuna had made it very clear to Krishna early in the second chapter that he wanted moksha. He told Krishna in so many words, I am your student. Please teach me so that I will gain Shreyas, moksha. Arjuna naturally expected Krishna to tell him exactly what would give him moksha. Krishna pointed out that knowledge would give him moksha, thereby implying that all karma was to be renounced in order to pursue knowledge. Why then was Krishna advising him to do karma? Having said that knowledge would give Arjuna moksha, Krishna had then said, get up and fight. What did this mean? Did Krishna think that Arjuna was unfit for moksha? Or did he think that karma yoga would also result in moksha? Arjuna wanted to know what Krishna's contention really was. The situation was like a man going to a doctor, being told that he had diabetes and being advised to start and end each day with sweet rolls and pastries. Such a prescription would result only in a quick death and is not at all befitting the man's condition. Here, Arjuna wanted moksha, absolute freedom, and karma was prescribed for him. He knew that the karmas enjoined by the Vedas were strictly for achieving results within samsara, a life of limitation, and that they would not deliver him from samsara. Krishna himself had said to Arjuna, may you not get involved with any karma unfolded in the Veda. Arjuna was therefore confused by all these conflicting statements. Since moksha was said to be purely in the form of knowledge, he concluded that he should go for knowledge. And if he was to pursue knowledge, why do karma? This was why Arjuna wanted to become a renunciate, a monk, and renounce all activities so that he could dedicate his life to the pursuit of knowledge. Giving up everything, may you go after this knowledge. Sannyasa shravanam kuryat. Sannyasya shravanam kuryat was a popular statement. The sannyasis Arjuna had seen had all given up everything to pursue knowledge. He therefore thought that he was interested, if he was interested in moksha, he should do the same. This is the case for anything one wants in life. If money is what you are interested in, you must give up a lot of things and go after money. Or if you want power, you should go after it to the exclusion of all else, spending whatever money is necessary to get it. You cannot expect to retain your money and at the same time gain power. No election was ever won that way. However, after gaining power, whether you are able to regain the money is a different issue. Arjuna therefore thought, if I want knowledge, it is only reasonable that I should give up karma action. For a person to pursue knowledge in a dedicated fashion, giving up everything is not an unreasonable requirement. This is why a life of renunciation, sannyasa, loomed so large in Arjuna's mind and was all he wanted. In his eyes, sannyasa seemed to be the only destination and was the right thing to do. But Krishna had said, having decided to fight, please get up and fight. Tasmat uttishta kaunteya yuddhaya krita nishchaya. Gita chapter 2, 37th verse. Knowledge alone is adequate for moksha. Anyone wants anything to be said before we continue? Knowledge alone is adequate for moksha. Arjuna's confusion was based on his incorrect understanding of renunciation. Arjuna's confusion was based on his incorrect understanding of renunciation. Krishna seems to have dismissed the pursuit of karma for good by not allowing it to be considered the pursuit of moksha. Therefore, sannyasa had to be the answer. At the same time, however, Krishna had praised karma. This apparent contradiction caused Arjuna to ask, what exactly should I do? He did not think of pursuing both karma and moksha because nowhere in the second chapter did Krishna mention combining them. Knowledge, jnana, is adequate for moksha. Moksha does not depend on any karma because it is not something that is created. Being the very nature of the Atma, moksha is already accomplished. The self is already liberated, already free, and needs only to be recognized as such. Therefore, knowledge alone is adequate for moksha. And after knowledge, karma is also not required because the person is happy with himself or herself as he or she is. What karma is to be done then, and for what purpose? Doing karma for the pleasure of it is not what is being discussed here. To do karma merely for the pleasure of it means that one may or may not do it. Some people will do karma and enjoy themselves, while others may not do any karma at all and still enjoy themselves. If you do something for the enjoyment of it, there is no question of doing it as a bounden duty. Therefore, you need not do it, or you may do it. But for moksha, why should you do karma when all that is required is knowledge? If knowledge is adequate, then you must only pursue that knowledge. Thus, from what Lord Krishna had said so far, it looked to Arjuna as though knowledge was the prime pursuit. But it was also very clear to Arjuna that he had been commanded to perform action. Therefore, the first dose of teaching contained in the second chapter was confusing to Arjuna, who was already confused when the teaching began. In an attempt to resolve his confusion, he asked Krishna to describe a sthita prajna, a wise person. This was an indirect question in that, by knowing exactly what a sthita prajna was, Arjuna thought he would know whether it was knowledge or karma that would make him wise and therefore free. In response, Lord Krishna did not mention karma at all. He talked only about self-mastery and knowledge. He never said that one who does karma becomes a sthita prajna. All of Krishna's descriptions of a wise person implied knowledge alone. He had said that what is night for the ignorant is day for the wise. And what is night for the wise is day for the ignorant. In this way, he talked about two visions, that of the wise and that of the ignorant. The vision of one who is ignorant being different from the vision of the one who is wise. From all that Krishna had told him, Arjuna received confirmation that knowledge was adequate for moksha. There was no question of moksha requiring a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of karma, a little bit of this and a little bit of that. Moksha, after all, is not like an English trifle or granola. Only knowledge is necessary and all other little bits are useless. Thus, Arjuna concluded, if knowledge alone is going to liberate me, then the pursuit of knowledge is enough. If knowledge is adequate, karma never comes into the picture, neither before knowledge nor after knowledge. Because this was Arjuna's thinking, he had a doubt to raise. Thus, when Krishna finished talking, Arjuna asked his question. There are two types of questions. One is a question that is asking for an explanation, called prashna in Sanskrit. What is a wise person is such a question. Another type of question involves doubt. Doubt or samshaya comes in the form of, does the Sthita Prajna walk, talk, sit, etc. or not? Only when there are two or more opinions about a topic is there a possibility of a doubt. Throughout the Gita, Arjuna raised doubts and also asked questions involving definitions or descriptions. When Arjuna wanted to know what a wise person was, he was not expressing a doubt, although he may have had one. He only wanted to know. What is sannyasa, for example, is not a doubt. It is purely a question asking for a definition. But when Arjuna asked which was better, sannyasa or karma yoga, he was expressing a doubt. Here in the beginning of the 3rd chapter, he raised a doubt. So a doubt comes only when there is a choice, when either this or that, or there are two opinions of the same thing. Arjuna uvacha jayasi chet karmanaste mata buddhir janardana tatkim karmani ghore ma niyojayasi keshava. Arjuna uvacha said, Janardana, O Janardana, karmanaha, than action, buddhihi, knowledge, jayasi, better, me te matache. If it is in your contention, tat that then, ghore karmani, in the gruesome action, mam me, kim niyojayasi, why do you impel Keshava, O Keshava? Arjuna said, if, O Janardana, your contention is that knowledge is better than action, why then do you impel me into this gruesome action, O Keshava? Arjuna addressed Lord Krishna as here as Janardana, a name for the Lord, which means one who upholds the law of karma by giving the fruits of wrong action to the performer of the action. Wrong karma results in pain, dukkha, either immediately or later. Krishna's contention, as Arjuna saw it, was the pursuit of knowledge, and knowledge are better than or superior to action, karma. The action being referred to here was no ordinary action, such as performing a ritual or cooking. It was a terrible, gruesome action involving bloodshed and the destruction of many people. Therefore, Arjuna asked Krishna, why do you engage me in this terrible action? If with reference to moksha, knowledge is superior, if knowledge alone is going to give me moksha, why are you asking me to do karma? In Arjuna's understanding, Krishna was asking him to act, but at the same time, he was praising knowledge and its pursuit. Krishna seemed to be saying that knowledge liberates, but at the same time, he was asking Arjuna to do karma, and terrible karma at that. Arjuna wanted to be a sannyasi, and Krishna seemed to be pushing him into the ring to fight. He had not even signed a contract with him. He had asked only that Krishna be his driver, not his agent who would arrange fighting matches for him. Arjuna's question, why are you asking me to perform this terrible action, extends into the next verse as well. If anyone wants to say anything or add, please unmute and speak. Vyamishrenev vakyena buddhim mohayasiva me tadekam vada nishchitya yena shreyohamapnuyam. Vyamishrena, self-contradictory. Vakyena, with words, iva, seemingly, may, my, buddhim, mind, mohayasi iva, you appear to confuse, yena, by which, aham, I, shreyaha, liberation, apnuyam, shall gain, tat, that, ekam, one, nishchitya, having decided, vada, tell. With words that are seemingly contradictory, you appear to be confusing my mind. Having decided which is better, tell me the one thing by which I shall gain liberation. Arjuna did not say that Krishna's words were self-contradictory, but that they were seemingly contradictory. In Arjuna's understanding, there was contradiction. But even knowing this, he did not say to Krishna, you confuse me with self-contradictory words, which would have been an accusation. Here we are given an indication of how one should talk in such situations. And Arjuna said, by words which are seemingly contradictory, you seem to be confusing me. He meant that, in fact, Krishna's intention was to confuse him. We know that there is often accusation involved in a dialogue between two people. If your perception is that a person did this or that to you, you may say, you did this to me. The person then becomes defensive and will not accept your statement. You then feel that your feelings are invalidated, that you are not understood. The other person also feels that he or she is accused and not understood at all. In other words, there is not only no communication, but also miscommunication. Here, Arjuna's use of the word iva, as though, reveals an important principle in communication. Never evoke the defensive person in the one with whom you are communicating. We should all practice this when we're talking to our spouses. At least I have to do it. Because when you directly say something, it becomes an accusation. But if you say, you seem to have done that, we've actually gone through this once, month and a half ago, but it's worth going through this again. So that's why I started with the beginning of chapter 3. So not only with your spouse, with anybody else, the moment you accuse, they get on the defensive and then they start justifying. Then there is no point in you. You're not making any difference. You're only satisfying your ego by pointing it out. And that other person's ego is also hurt. It becomes defensive. There is no improvement or learning happening. But if you say, you seem to be doing this, or you seem to have said that, then you're allowing that person to introspect and not become defensive and maybe change for the better. Arjuna was not accusing Krishna of confusing him, nor did he say that his words were contradictory. Instead, he said that Krishna's words seemed to be contradicting themselves, and therefore Krishna seemed to confuse him. This means that Arjuna did not think that Krishna was confusing him, only that this was how he perceived it. So he is taking the onus of responsibility. I seem to have misunderstood you. He's not pointing the finger at him. He's actually pointing the finger at himself, Arjuna. He says, my perception is that I have not understood what you have taught because you seem to praise knowledge. I think we'll stop here today. Does anyone want to say anything before we close? Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Gurudev.
Jai
Was
Gurudev.
I audible throughout, or was it a waxing waning thing?
It was very clear. It was very
Yeah. Malti ji, I hope you have